We are a bit late. Apologies. Welcome on VCTV, the Venture Capital TV, and it's from LATOKEN, as you can rightly see. Happy Monday as well. Beginning of the week, and I welcome you back on VCTV. We are telecasting live on all our social media channels. Slightly late because of some technical issues, but here we are. So today we're going to discuss about investments in esports and online fitness. And today's session is going to be divided into two parts, where we have speakers and investors going to share their insights about what happened with the trends in esports and online fitness investments in 2020 and going back as well. Plus, we are here with one of the entrepreneurs in the space. He's going to talk about his project because he's also looking to raise funds. So sit back, sit tight, and watch VCTV. It's a fantastic episode. So before I start introducing my speakers of the evening, my name is Sunny Mohanty. I'm the regional director of LATOKEN based here in Singapore. I host VCTV Monday till Friday, 8 p.m. Singapore time every day. I've been hosting since last year, and I thoroughly enjoy hosting because I meet fabulous people on this show, on this platform. Okay, perfect. So today we're talking about esports and online fitness. Let's start with some opening remarks from our speakers. I'd like to start with Harsh first. Harsh, hi, welcome back on PCTV. How are you today? Harsh, you are on mute. You are on mute. We can't hear you. It's the same issue. We can't hear you. Okay, can we take this from Gary? Gary, is that okay?
Hope yeah, sure. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. So my name's Gary Fallon. Great to be here today. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been involved in 17 startups. I've been involved in technology for over 30 years, and I just love artificial intelligence. I've had 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion. And also, I am the co-founder of Viva, one of the top 10 AI HR tech companies in the world, with the co-founder David Yang. It's a Silicon Valley-based company. And I'm the CEO, president, and co-founder of Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Silicon Valley. So it's great to be here, and I love the journey today. I love the technology journey we've taken, and it's good to see some familiar, friendly faces. So thank you very much for the time. Look forward to the show today.
Absolutely, same here. Thank you, Gary, for that intro. Next, I have Harsh. Harsh, can we hear you now?
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are very much audible. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So glad to be back here. My name is Harsh Shetty. I'm a part of Power Ventures. We had over a series of 50 investments across spaces, even in some online gaming and fitness sectors as well. And glad to be back. I'm particularly interested in this session today because we've seen a lot of progress in the fitness and the gaming industry ever since COVID lockdown struck. So looking forward to some great insights and great discussion today.
Okay, cool. While we have Karthik joining us later on because of some technical glitch from his side, let's introduce to our speaker, who's going to be pitching and presenting his project, Kevin Sarao. Hi, Kevin. Welcome on VCTV. How are you? Just a little bit of introduction and background. On the second half, we go over the presentation.
Sure. Good evening, Sunny. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. I'm the founder and CEO of 360 Wellness, which is a digital health and fitness marketplace that we've developed and launched last year in October, and now really scaling the business in 2021. I'm very excited to tell you more about the business we're running later on in the show. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Welcome back. Welcome back, all of you. Welcome, audience. Today, I'm joined by my co-moderator, Maxim from Russia. Hi, Maxim. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I will be co-moderator on this show. Thank you for inviting, Sonny. So let's do.
Awesome. So we are set, minus Karthik, who's joining us soon. So let's start with some opening remarks from each of the speakers that we have here today. Let's start with Harsh. Harsh, you said you made some investments. Let's start with some opening remarks for the topic today.
Got it. So this space is really interesting, especially the online sports as well as the online fitness, right? So ever since people have been kind of stuck into the lockdowns, people have been trying to find alternative ways and motivating ways to do fitness and workouts online since they could not go outside. We definitely saw some interesting startups coming up with interesting ways to motivate in terms of contests, giveaways, virtual reality to kind of monitor that. In fact, there were some interesting apps which would kind of give you an incentive just to kind of track your daily activities. So that is where we saw a lot of progress in this space. Additionally, in esports sector as well, where we saw a lot of interesting opportunities, especially in the gaming sector, where India is one of the most premier Nazara games. It is one of the largest India's gaming portfolio companies. They are actually planning to launch an IPO this year. They've been delaying it for the last 3 years, but since COVID times, they've gotten a huge traction and a huge spike in growth, and they're actually launching an IPO this year. That is how much the esports sector has grown over the just in the last 9 months due to the COVID lockdowns. So definitely, it's safe to say that COVID wasn't harmful to every industry. There have definitely been several industries who have gained huge windfalls because of this.
Yeah, so today's topic, obviously, we're talking about esports at one side, and we're talking about online fitness on the side. Just want to give you, somebody just asked me what is esports, like definition. So just starting with that little background, overweight, unfit, and unkempt. The cliches about gamers persist, right? But are they true? We take a closer look at the stereotype and find out just how important nutrition and fitness really are in esports training. Poor nutrition and not enough exercise damage performance. This is fatal for esport athletes, especially in competition where a few milliseconds often decide between victory and defeat. An unhealthy diet, in particular, has a negative effect on reaction speed and concentration. Sitting for too long is also detrimental to your career as an esport player. If you sit too long, for example, we all know your back muscles atrophy, you'll get back pain, and the worst case, you will no longer be able to exercise. This often leads to an early retirement of esports athletes. Therefore, it is important that esports athletes pay as much attention to their fitness and nutrition as footballers or cyclists. So today, that's why I give you perspective because today we talk about esports and online fitness and how they complement each other. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Harsh, go on. You want to say something?
No, so definitely the point is absolutely valid, right? PUBG has been like a huge phenomenon across the world and even in India. And we've had these online esport players who've been doing quite well and making some good money. At the same time, the point that you mentioned regarding maintaining fitness, especially maintaining finger agility, is very important for these guys. So unless they kind of pay active attention to ensure that the fingers are moving properly and maintaining the motor coordination, it become very difficult for them to sustain in the longer run. So those are very important aspects which they have to look forward to.
Absolutely. So Kevin is going to talk about it later, present as well. Gary, over to you with your opening remarks of the show. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, this is a keep it simple, stupid. I mean, the people are sitting a lot and they're not, whether esports or people at home working out of their home, they're sitting a lot and they need to go down through. So it's really an integrated approach. So it's surprising though, Sonny, if you look at it, the number one, if you look at fitness at home, the number one sport, if you will, or hobby is yoga, right? So yoga is the number one. And so, but we've got with this pandemic and the changes that have taken place in our lives, we got to really think differently. So in terms of it's about maintaining the fitness at the same time, be able to accommodate the amount of online activity. So where's that balance in your life? And one of the things that we need to take into consideration is that balance is critically important if we're going to be able to maintain our online presence. So if it's in esports, to be able to play better and to be able to play more effectively. And part of the thing, I mean, even sitting down, your circulation is not good. It's not good to sit that long. So we've got to look at things that we've never looked at before. And before it was just, well, you need to get out, sit up and stretch. But if you're at a 3-hour or 4-hour session and you're not able to get up, so we need to have these intelligent assistants. and I've talked about these a few times on the show, these intelligent AI assistants that are really can be used as workout mentors or workout coaches to be able to tell you when you need to do things, to be able to help monitor, whether it's your pulse, your galvanic skin response, whatever, to be able to monitor you so you're able to understand how to be able to counteract those potential detrimental effects. So we're in a very interesting time. We're really scaling down, and I talk about hyper personalization, but that's really where it is. Not smart, but intelligent assistants be able to help us better. On the fitness side, I mean, look at it. This is a booming industry. We've really put everything upside down. I mean, you couldn't even buy weights a couple of months ago. It was they were selling weights that would cost $15 or $20 here in the U.S. for $65 to $100 a piece. So people are really concerned about it. But the good news, the paradigm has shifted, and now we have those opportunities. The second thing that I want to talk about is collaboration, to be able to compete with one another so we can maintain that, so whether it's bikes and Peloton, to be able to bike together, to be able to compete together, to keep that colloquial camaraderie that we really need, and to make it fun, quite frankly, to make it fun and interesting. So that's where we are. So the startups that I'm really interested in are the startups that are really drilling down to make that experience more real, to make that experience more competitive, and to make that experience more collaborative. So like team sports. And it's really interesting for me. So that's on the fitness side. On the esports side, and this is a dawn of a new era, right?
Sure.
And I'm
Absolutely.
sure Kevin would agree to a lot of those things.
I definitely do. And we need to talk more together, Gary, about that intelligent assistant telling people what to do.
Yeah, Kevin, before that, let's have a quick intro and background about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Kevin. I walked into the automotive engineering industry for the last 12 years, so quite something different than the sport tech industry. I was head of product management and engineering, but I've always been really passionate about sports. Played basketball when I was young, got hooked into triathlon a couple of years ago. Dropped 20 kilo and started to qualify for World Championship. I did about 15 Ironman around the Asia Pacific region. Started to coach athletes. And as I started to coach athletes remotely, I figured that most people just start understanding the importance of nutrition to achieve your fitness goal. But we are still very far away from realizing that your sleep and how you feel matters just as much, right? And I just wanted to have an holistic tracker. I mean, everybody talk about holistic coaching and balanced approach to life, but in fact, I found no technical solution. I found no app that would actually combine everything into one place. And I ended up downloading 5, 6, 7 different apps if I wanted my athletes to actually track everything. So I just set myself on a mission to create it. And it started with 360 Sports for endurance athletes. And then the pandemic came and changed everything, put the whole industry upside down. And I just thought that there was something I could do. And instead of focusing on 360 Sports product for endurance athletes, I could pivot my strategy, integrating a live virtual classes marketplace and offer that holistic wellness tracker to a much larger audience than endurance athletes. And 360 Wellness was born and launched in October last year.
Oh, perfect. Good to know that. I'm going to talk more with the presentation later on. Thank you, Kevin. And great. So my first question after the opening remarks would be to Harsh. So in my mind, I believe that esports will rival the biggest traditional sports league in terms of future opportunities like a scaling and easy accessibility of its sport. How, in your view, the market will have more opportunities from prospects of market potential and investment opportunities, and why?
Definitely, esports is a very lucrative opportunity, right? You look at these World Tetris Championships, you look at these Pokemon Go competitions and all the other competitions, right? It is becoming such an interesting space and they are attracting top dollars. I would say they are no less than some of the other sports out there like table tennis or badminton or any other sports, because the kind of fundraising that they get, kind of investments that they get, and even the top players in the league, right? So my sister used to work at a media company, and she used to tell me that these guys attract thousands of dollars just to create one sponsored video for them. They make thousands of dollars just to get one sponsored video. So these are just as big as some influencers. You look at influencers, micro influencers across YouTube and TikTok or whatever. These guys are just that influential, and definitely we see this going a lot mainstream. This can definitely go extremely mainstream.
Perfect. Thank you, Harsh. Gary, over to you with the same question. How, in your view, which market will have more opportunities from prospect of market potential and investment opportunities, and why, in terms of esports and the traditional sports?
I missed you. It went out a little bit, Sonny? I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question again?
Yeah, sure. So we believe that esports as an industry will rival the biggest traditional sports leagues in terms of future opportunities like scaling and easy accessibility of its sport. As we saw in the pandemic, everything was shut down. There was no sports. There was no games. Nothing. People went online and started playing. So
Yep.
how, in your view, which markets will have more opportunities from prospect of market potential and investment opportunities? And what do you think? So which markets are more benefited than others? Like US is a huge market, I'm sure, a big market for esports as well. But in Asia, we have China and Japan as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the situation. So remember, I'm a country boy from Pennsylvania, so we keep it simple, stupid. And if we've got this lockdown could last another year to year and a half, right? And it's going to drive a lot of the behaviors. Look at the market. Some of the statistics I was looking at said that the year-over-year growth was 837%. So we're talking a phenomenal market. We're talking about by 2022 a market of about 1.8 billion. So I mean, this is to grow. The opportunities are out there. Like I've said, the hyper personalization is important. And then I think at some time, so look at where we are with it. So now we've got these really cross-border teams that are in place. It's really follows what's happening as we are here on Zoom today, right? We're from all over the world. And that's going to drive us. And so I wrote that article in Forbes called Nikola Tesla's Dream Comes True, the democratization of opportunity. It's really broken down barriers. And of course, so look at it, the demand is going up. People are going to make a lot more money. I believe there's going to be some hybrid kind of models. So you're going to have the physical world and you're going to have the virtual world in a really interesting hybrid way, which we haven't seen that much of. I haven't seen that much of yet or enough of. So what we have is we've got the perfect breeding ground, the right kind of the right water, the right sunlight to help this grow very, very quickly. And the beauty of it is it was growing anyhow, but now it's grown on steroids because people aren't able to do the things that they did before, right? And so it's a great market to invest in. But again, as I've talked, I'm really interested in where artificial intelligence and how we can really optimize these experiences, how we can make them more real than they are today. So it feels more like you're inside of the game, not participating in the game. That's where it becomes interesting for me. And that's where I'm interested in investing. And I said, anything, even when you're gaming, it's almost like, it's kind of funny, but R2-D2 in Star Wars, right? You're guiding your starfighter, and we're going to have these intelligent, I don't want to say droids, but intelligent apps, intelligent assistants that are going to start to guide us, even in gaming, right? You can be the best player because you'll have your, Obi-Wan Kenobi that's teaching you how to play the game better. So it's really interesting. And so then to be able to sharpen your senses, having those types of drills that are given by artificial intelligence to help make you better and better, maximize your opportunity. And again, this doesn't apply to gaming. This applies across the board. So, I mean, the same assistants are being used for like Alzheimer patients to train them. It's very, very interesting time for us. And I'm
Absolutely.
excited about the opportunity for gaming, and I'm excited about artificial intelligence. And Sonny, you know, I talk about quantum computing. Wait till that starts to come into this thing.
Cool. Thank you, Gary. I think my colleague Maxime has a question for you. Maxime, over to you. You can ask Gary, Harsh, and Harsh to start with.
Yeah, so thank you for the words. So if we say about technologies, everybody knows that how impact AI and machine learning technologies across all industries. So just want to clarify, what by your view, how it will be impactful in esports and online fitness industry, also in some practice, in some use cases also, but it may be also how will be changed customer preferences use these technologies. Yeah, just sharing your opinions and
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Max, so you go down through, think about where we are. So imagine having super tailored games. So one is you have collaborative games. The other situation, you've got super tailored games that teach you exactly to the level that you're at and help you grow faster, more intelligent games, if you will. And as we move from semi-supervised to unsupervised esports, imagine the system actually creating the new game on the spot for us. So talk about a challenge, right? So you're going to a new level, or you're going to, you know, all the equal players come out. The system starts to create a new level that didn't even exist right on the spot. That's where this thing becomes really interesting. And imagine, you know, when we start to apply it in all kinds of ways, because the same skills we can develop in esports are the same kind of skills we can apply to the physical world. That's where this thing becomes really, really interesting, right? So what I see the opportunity to really bridge the gap to this hybrid world using semi-supervised and unsupervised AI. How is it going to make it? It's going to make it really, it's going to make it more real. It's going to be, as I said, not playing a game, but being inside of the game. Then, you know, being able to, we got to make sure that we're monitoring ourselves all the time, because there are other physical implications. Being in the world mentally doesn't mean that you're physically in the world, and you got to make sure that you're, you know, one thing to sit in the seat all day long, but you're going to have to balance it out with the fitness that we've talked about too in a hybrid model, so you're staying in shape. But imagine, I mean, now you talk about the games. Now imagine, you know, so we've got companies like Peloton with bikes. Imagine having the Tour de France, and we're all running the Tour de France together, right? In a very real AR, VR way that's personal to us. How does that change things? Imagine that kind of an interesting hybrid world, right? Or we're racing cars together, all kinds of things where we're competing and having fun and collaborating. Then what happens after the games, where we come into another virtual world that we're walking around together in a particular setting that doesn't even exist. It only exists in that world. So what I'm seeing is the opportunity to really enrich the gaming experience, hyper personalize the gaming experience, and creates things that have never existed before on the fly.
yeah, thank you, Gary. It's enough comprehensive. So just one clarifying. So as I know that market size of electronic sports will be doubled approximately 2 or 3 weeks, approximately in 2 or 3 years in 2023. So and also just for understanding by what the key markets of esports and online fitness will be driving and forcing in near future.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Harsh.
Sorry, Harsh. Who is this question for? Maxime, who is taking
It's a
this
question for Harsh.
Harsh,
Yeah.
okay.
I did not follow the question. Could you can you give a repeat of that, please?
Yeah, of course. In a nutshell, in what key drivers enforcing will be drives the markets of esports and markets of online segment fitness. So, but bear in mind that it will be by analytical insights that it will be approximately doubled in market revenue and worldwide.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, that's definitely true, right? So the point which Gary was mentioning about regarding hyper personalization of these games to each and every individual, right? It's actually already being done. A lot of the games, they kind of use these AI based tools. What happens is the rewards are individually customized. The player progresses, the player growth, everything is kind of individually personalized. They operate just like social media, and they are designed to kind of get you hooked to your mobile or to your laptop where you're playing the game, right? It's already in place. So because of that, what is happening is because the people are spending more and more time playing these games, definitely the consumption time increases. Because of that, the right now I've still not seen too much ad revenue going on over here in this esports arena. But with increasing number of time spent, once more kind of gaming companies start including commercial ads, right, the valuation of these companies can easily skyrocket. But at the same time, I would have some sort of concern regarding this as well. So what tends to happen is, if people spend too much time over here, right, they'll have the same issue, we've kind of highlighted with social media. People are getting dopamine hits just because of playing these games. So that is where there needs to be some amount of moderation as well, to kind of ensure that we are not getting too addicted to these things. Because I like to play esports myself, and they are freakishly addictive. So that is why we need to ensure that there's some sort of control aspect over there as well. And I'll add some interesting statistic over here. One of my doctors, he's a cardiologist friend of mine. He tells me that if you do not walk 5,000 steps in a day, you have a chance of increasing your blood pressure and your diastolic pressure going all the way up to 90 and even 95, which is a very bad statistic, right? So what happens is, if people end up spending 4 or 5 hours playing these esports and these online games, what can happen is it can actually have physical manifestations where you actually end up losing your health in the longer run. That is why online fitness becomes absolutely critical.
Yes.
Even in the it may be in the form of VR, or it may be in the form of other performance based, reward based games, to ensure that you're moving, even those kind
Yeah,
of dopamine hits, to kind of balance the effect of esports, so that it works both ways and it's not just one way. So this comes
that's
back to the
correct.
empathetic AI point, which Gary used to mention earlier. We need to use AI to benefit the product. At the same time, there needs to be some empathy as well to the person's well-being, not just driving the consumer to the product.
Perfect. So,
Thank you for
Maxine,
this
do you
answer.
have
Yeah.
any questions? Because we started late. I think we should go move on to Kevin now. And
No, for me it's clear. No questions. Thank you.
yeah, okay, cool. Thank you, Maxine. You can ask more questions on the go after Kevin is done with the presentation. Kevin, I think you can share your presentation. You have the rights to share, unless you want to start with some opening remarks. Then share. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Sunny. I will. I think we are into a very interesting time now and at a very early stage of fitness digitalization. If we look back 20 years ago, from 2001 to 2010, while commerce goes digital, right? We got companies such as eBay, Amazon, Shopify coming up. The next 10 years, from 2011 to 2020, it was a time for media to go digital. We got Netflix coming up, we got Spotify, we got all of those companies. And I think the next 10 years is for health and fitness. Google just finished the acquisition of Fitbit last year. Amazon launched the Halo wellness tracker. Companies such as Peloton and Miro are booming at the moment. And I think that is continued to last for the next 10 years. So it's a very exciting time for this industry, I believe. And that's probably why I've jumped out from the automotive industry into the sport tech industry. I'll share my screen with you, and we can go through the presentation, and very happy in the end to exchange some thoughts and answer every question that you may have. Well, feel free to interrupt me at any time as well if you would like to ask or add something.
Sure.
Can you all see now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Great. So 360 Wellness. Those headlines probably sound very familiar to you. We've all seen them from the BBC, from McKinsey, etc. It is a reality that COVID has drastically changed the world that we used to live in. And as people were constrained at home, they had to find alternative ways to remain active. It's been very easy to slip into some bad habits, sleeping late, spending all day in your PJs, no longer walking around to get to the MRT or get to the office, but just walking from the sofa to the fridge next door. People have been gaining weight during the pandemic. People have felt mentally depressed, and it's a reality that the mental health has been drastically decreasing, as well as physical health. We thought that this was a great opportunity for us to build a place where users can easily find trainers. For those who wanted to be active and trying to find online workout, well, it's been a nightmare. There has been actually no place where you could go. You have all of these fitness trainers that suddenly just pops live on Instagram, and you're probably not ready to actually join them. So we wanted to bring that spirit from the endurance world, where people are very meticulous about planning and scheduling the week. And we wanted to bring that spirit into the online fitness. And that's what we've created with 360 Wellness. Our mission, simply to empower wellness worldwide, giving people a single source of truth, of scientifically proven information that will actually help them to strive for a healthier life. But also through the power of online fitness, making it accessible and affordable to anyone, anywhere. We still have 56% of the world population living in rural area that don't have access to all the fancy sport facilities that we have in Singapore, for example, or in the other big cities. And online can actually allow us to reach to those people. So the way we've done it, and I mentioned this briefly earlier about creating a single wellness tracker. It was, very ambitious challenge of putting everything into one place. So we've managed to find a brilliant modern UX UI where you can track how well you train, eat, feel, and sleep all in one place. And we have actually developed a wellness score, which for every individual, give them personalized guidance and recommendation based on their own personal goals on how they could get better. And moving down the road for us is really empowering with AI, that wellness tracker, and the daily content and recommendations and tips that we are bringing to our users. We didn't stop there. We've actually built a health and fitness marketplace. I've observed all trainers who are trying to actually get visibility outside of a follower community on social media, trying to post on the Facebook page that they're going to go live on Wednesday, 5 p.m. And despite having 800 people following them, getting 2 or 3 likes in average, because we know that the algorithm just show the content to 1 to 3% people only. So we thought, well, why don't we just build a place where we allow all of those people to exist by themselves and schedule all the upcoming live workout that people can very easily sign up to, add to the calendar, and join the live workout fully integrated into the app within 3 clicks. That's what we've done. We launched in October. We've got over 40 health and fitness professionals already joining, offering about 50 to 60 live classes a week in average since launch. We're providing them a complete mobile and desktop solution with all the tools that they need to actually build their client database online with ton of API integrations such as Twilio for mass messaging the WhatsApp contact, inviting them to come over the platform, as well as syncing and messaging their Facebook friends, their Instagram followers, and just telling them, why don't you bring all of these unknown fans that you have over all of these platforms into one place where they become an identified user, and you can monetize all of those fans by actually proposing them your services, being live classes, being even personal training on site. And we're going to make it as easy as it can possibly get for you to grow your online revenue with your users coming onto the platform. We actually quite global. I mean, we did a soft launch in mid of October, and we've already got, I think now we passed the 3,000 downloads across 172 countries. We tried to really build the product by the community, myself being an athlete, and I've been very close to a lot of personal trainers over the last few years. I've tried to just develop the ultimate platform for them to grow the business and building a truly social wellness focused community. Because Facebook might not be the place to share your latest personal best at a 5-kilometer garden park run, but that could be the place where people can share tips, share the achievements, and exchange with the trainers directly within the app. We went a bit further ahead. Gamification as well has been a big thing, and we're here today talking about esports. So we conceptualized the introduction of our wellness coin. A coin that is going to be directly implemented into our application, and our main vision and objective is actually bringing the whole large fitness world onto the blockchain. I'm very new into the blockchain. I know fitness for a while, but I've only in the last 3-4 months started to dig very deep into what's happening into the space. And I've realized that if you get 50,000 followers on Twitter and 100,000 on YouTube, you're considered as the top 0.5% influencer community in the crypto space. Well, you probably need a couple of millions into the fitness world to be considered in the top 1%. So we thought that was a great opportunity for us to actually bring all of those large fitness influencers onto the blockchain with our wellness coin. The coin is going to be fully implemented into the platform as a very credible alternative payment solution. We have today the in-app purchase API from Apple, Google, as well as Stripe credit card payments. Well, obviously, we're paying quite a bit of fees, especially to Apple, not to mention them. The idea with the coin is to create that token that is exchangeable from a user to a coach back to the platform by promoting the business and incentivizing everyone to actually accumulate and mine, for example, and get those coins, giving them extra benefits onto the platform, such as ranking up the trainers into the marketplace. For example, that's where we've built the wellness coin as one of the key elements into ranking up trainers. You are a yoga instructors in Malaysia. Well, if you want to top the search result into the app as a yoga fitness instructor in Malaysia or even in Southeast Asia, well, there is an algorithm that we are implementing that will encourage you to actually adopt the coin, because the largest amount that you hold, the more chances and the higher you rank up, as well as stay active on the platform. The number of clients that you've got, the number of live virtual classes that you have organized, the number of posts and engagement that you have into the social team of the platform. But we also want to ensure that people are delivering quality services. So we actually have a rating feature in place where at the end of each live event, as a user, I can leave a feedback to the instructor as well as rating them. Those 3 components with a different weighted average are all essential for the trainers to rank up in the top search result for a specific field, such as HIIT workout or yoga or meditation or sleep coaching even, because with 360 Wellness, and we are bringing professionals that are all wellness related and not fitness only. So driving the adoption of the coin, driving the engagement of the trainers onto the platform, and driving the quality of the services offered are all being taken care of with that special formula that is boosting up the ranking of the instructors. We're building the future of the digital wellness as we see it. And we strongly believe today that there is going to be a new way to stay fit and healthy in the future. I myself have all the technology, all the tech wearables like the Garmin watches and bike computer. I have, the pedal power meter on my bicycle as well. I got about 5-6 different apps that I've been tracking. And my goal as an entrepreneur is to bring all of these needs that I have during my wellness journey and bring everything into 360 Wellness, which is the one and what that you need only.
Perfect.
We got some recognition from the industry, featured at the FIT Summit in Singapore last year, 2 weeks after our launch. That was quite something. Won the Top Asian Startup Awards in 2020. And we are geographically located in Singapore, which represents for us a tremendous opportunity. The US is obviously the biggest fitness market out there. The UK and Australia is usually as well leading the way. 69% of the sport tech companies in the world come from America, but Asia Pacific is the region where the growth is going to happen over the next 5 years. And we really aim to establish ourselves as the online leading player in Southeast Asia before scaling. Southeast Asia is 21 million fitness and yoga enthusiasts in the region. Let's not forget that it's a 619 million population, which is, not twice, but quite significantly bigger than the US as a domestic market. We are currently raising funds, as you mentioned, Sonny. We've hit 50% of our seed round goal and have just another 150K to go to hit 300K revenue this year, as we have finished building the platform and we are now entering into the growth phase of the company.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kevin. It was a wonderful presentation, very elaborate. Let's take some questions. You can stop the share because everybody's got a copy of your presentation. Sure. Thank you so much, Kevin. Harsh, Gary, we open the floor for questions now.
Yeah, so I have a question for you, Kevin. So how much you've raised 150 and you're raising another 150? This is what, is this an angel round? Or is this a pre-seed round or what is it?
Yeah, this is an angel round. So I've invested about 250,000 US dollars last year in building the mobile and web platform. 100K from myself, another 100K from our tech partner, as well as another 60K from an angel investor. And now that seed round is going to be at 65% allocated into sales and marketing this year.
And then the $2 million seed round, how long will that last you?
The $2 million, yeah, what we are planning for the end of the year, right? That is going to last us for 1.5 years. I mean, as per the current business plan, that will drive us until self-sustainability in 2023.
I mean, just so you know, that's a very small round. That's almost like a pre-seed round in the US. So if you're gonna, where are you planning on raising the money? Is it in Asia or is it in the US or where you plan on doing?
Well, I've had an interesting journey in trying to raise the money. So I started with Southeast Asia, being a Singapore incorporated company, but COVID hasn't made things easy. I've been stuck in Phuket out of Singapore. So after talking to a few potential investors in Southeast Asia, I thought, why don't we just try in the UK? So I've contacted about a dozen investors in the UK. I've also contacted a dozen investors in the US. We have a team of 30 people right now, and we are all based in 12 different countries. So, it doesn't really matter where geographically you come from. What matters the most is finding people that can support us beyond the money, bringing value into the business.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, just so you know, so the way the Valley works is that it's a very interesting environment because you need to be there. You need to have an office in the Valley. The one thing you do get in the Valley is you get higher valuations. A $2 million round, my last seed round I raised was $7 million. And so that's a very small round.
Wow.
And if you look at the costs, right, it's actually, we raised almost 10 million as a seed total.
Wow.
We did multiple seeds. And what you want to do, because you've got AI and because it's in a hot space right now, the multiples in the Valley can be 15 to 20x, right? And so if it was me, this is like, I'm a country boy from Pennsylvania, right? Keep it simple. you can open up an office in Palo Alto or San Jose or Santa Clara, and you can access venture capitalists like most of the VC firms from around the world have offices. I've raised money from China, Russia, Israel, UK, I mean, you name it, other places in Europe, right from there. And it's like a port, and you might want to think about it. It doesn't matter, we talk about decentralized R&D teams, that kind of thing. It's not a big deal, but it's just something to think about, because the reason people really like it, and my friends here understand it, but the reason they like it is because the corporate law in Delaware, right? It's got one of the largest bodies of corporate law in the world, and if something happens, they're protected, the investors.
Yes, I've been told that indeed you're right. So I think finding some early investors in Asia has been quite a challenge. I don't think you have as much experience as the UK or the US. And I didn't understand what 70% of the sport tech companies come from the US, and now I probably do. So I've been reaching out to a lot of investors in the UK and the US who recommended what you just said. That I set up a local legal representation there, and that will smooth things a lot. I'm currently based in France. We can't really travel as much as we used to, but it's definitely something very interesting that you said, and I should definitely consider.
I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of pent-up demand right now. I mean, I hear it from being on VCTV and all the other things that we've got out there, that there's a pent-up demand. A lot of the family offices, by the way, are interested in health tech and investing. So, and they're a bit more easier to get money from, just from my own perspective, the ones that I know. But yeah, it's a exciting space.
What do you think of the product itself?
Well, I mean, it seems interesting. We don't do anything unless they're in growth stage. If you have 250 to 500K in revenue, that's where it's interesting. We're not an early stage investor. We take operational roles in the companies, and our thing is creating unicorns. So we want to make sure you have product market fit, make sure that the teams can work together, and that's when we start to get the company.
Good. It means I'll get back to you at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're around and we're in AI.
No, it's
Sorry, Kevin. Anything else from
No,
Gary?
I just wanted to say, so, the AI is a really important element that we want to bring into that wellness tracker. We are sending daily educational content and tips. We have someone from the team, a product CPO, who is a sports scientist. He's got a PhD in sports science from the French National Institute of Sports and Experience and Performance. So it's a lot of manual work that we are doing right now, but as we are collecting more data about our users, the goal is really to go one level down into personalizing those messages that we are sending them. So it doesn't really quite make sense to say I'm going to do some AI with 3,000 users, obviously, because you need the mass of data that you can exploit. So it's something that we keep in the back for next year. This year is really focused on growth. We have a plan to hit 1 million users, hit 300K of net revenue, and then raising that Series A that we need for next year. And I think that we'll get to the stage where things becomes extremely interesting for us.
Hey, Kevin, if you want, if I can help you out, I have one of the top shows in Silicon Valley where I highlight startups from around the world every other week. Actually, every other week today. But if you want, we haven't had any companies from France. If we can do it to help you out, I mean, I would do it as a courtesy to VCTV and my friend Sonny to get you some good visibility. But we have, it's actually put on by the top VCs in Silicon Valley, and I'm the host of it. So if you contact me, I'll send it in chat. I'll give you my chief of staff's name, and you can coordinate it with her and try to help you out.
That'll be amazing. Thank you so much for the offer. Much appreciated.
Anytime. Happy to help.
Great. Fantastic. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you, Sunny.
Well done. Well Well done. Thank you. Harsh, over to you, please.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. The idea definitely seems interesting. I'm more of a product kind of a guy, right? So can you tell me a bit more about your product? How it is differentiated, what features are compared to compared to the existing players who offer these kind of tracking services in the market.
Which one? I need you to give me one name so I know exactly which feature to highlight.
So in India, we have a specific product called Healthify Me, which does that.
Yeah.
Nike has a fairly good tracker as well. Then Google has their own Google Health as well, right? They monitor the
True.
tracking, the walking, and all the other steps. So I want to understand how the feature-wise it's different than them.
Yeah, so there's two main things that really differentiate us. You could have mentioned CureFit in India. I mean, that's a brilliant company and one
Exactly.
that I'm following very
Yep.
closely. I love what they do.
CureFit is a
Um,
great example.
Exactly. So, most of the big companies out there focused on the online fitness, such as ClassPass or Train Me or Aptiv, or I could mention another list of dozens, are just a series of random live events. None of them actually bring some meaning to you as how does this fit into my journey? How does this fit into my program? And how does this take me one step closer to where I want to be? So the way we've created that wellness tracker at the heart of the product on your main landing page actually connect everything, because every wellness life class that we have onto the platform has a preset wellness benefit that at the end of the class is directly being added to your tracker. So you can manually add activity, you can join live events, you can sync with your Garmin, Sunto, Polar, Fitbit, Tech wearables to upload your activities. All of that is actually linked to the tracker. So that's one of the main things that makes us very different than all the others, that we are really trying to bring meaning into your journey, into completing your fitness achievement, whatever they are. The second thing is that we are fully marketplace oriented. So we are really offering a digital space for fitness instructors, yogas, etc., to exist by themselves. They have their own carousel with 3 pages. They can put the company description, put the link to their website, put the list of services that they are offering, and get their own visibility. And there's millions of health and fitness freaksters as there that just got their revenue smashed from 100% to zero just overnight with the lockdown happening. And as they try to go online, well, it can be very difficult task to set up your own website. I'm not even speaking about developing an app. If I knew myself, maybe I would have never done it. I mean, it's been quite a challenge. So all of those people don't know how to go online. And opening an Instagram account and a Facebook page is basically all they do. And they very quickly give up because they realize that they work so hard to get a certain amount of followers. And at the end of the day, they're posting daily and they're getting 2 likes per post. So we are offering that digital space where they actually belong to a community, and we are boosting the visibility. We are building a wellness community worldwide that can fund them and fund and consume their online services, which nobody else does. And we don't charge any membership fee. So it's free of subscription for the users. I think the last thing you want to do, if I download QFeed, the first thing they ask me is to put down my credit card.
It's
so
a money.
Get 14 days
Yeah, it's a
trial,
paid
and then
one.
I'm going to be charged $45 a month. And I'm like, screw that. I just
Yeah.
I
delete it,
know.
right?
Yeah.
So we just bring it
Yeah.
for free. It's free of membership for the users. It's free of membership for the trainers. We are only taking a platform fee when the trainer try to cash out the money they made through the platform. So there is no upfront payment. You come in there, you grow your business. And for most of the developing countries we're working with, Indonesia, Philippines, and India are the top 1, 2, and 3 in terms of number of downloads we've got since we launched. And the trainers out there paying $50 up front or $150 to get a MindBody or any other coaching platform out there, it's a lot of money. So when they join us, they can just start, and if they are successful, we're taking a fee for helping them to be successful. And that is something that is fundamentally different than all of the coaching platform out there.
Got it.
Great.
Just one feedback I would like to add here.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So this
Go
is
ahead.
something slightly internal. I'll give you an example of. The fitness industry is highly localized, right? I would suggest have a different GTM plan for each and every country, because India and Southeast Asia operates quite differently from GCC and Europe and other markets, right? So just kind of focus on having a specific strategy for each country. That would really help you in taking it further, much further.
You're absolutely right, Ash. And, come and join in my seed round so we can put that team together as quickly as possible.
All the best.
Thank you, Ash.
Okay, cool. Nice
My
pitch,
pleasure.
nice presentation, and nice feedback. Any other questions from Gary, Harsh, or else Kevin? I've got a question for you. What about your token sale? Are you going to be doing a private sale of your token or a public sale, or as well?
Yeah, we are. I'm actually more of a builder than I am of a hype guy, which probably isn't helping me much in the crypto space, as we like hype. But I've been observing a lot in the last 3 to 4 months. We've already sold in private sale our token up to 60K USDT. We have been observing, we have been building relationships with influencers in the space. We've put a very strong marketing plan together, but we are very careful with whom we're gonna start the private and public sale, because we happen to have a lot of scams as well in the crypto space. So building trust and building relationship take time. So we are now scheduling the sale beginning to mid-March as Bitcoin consolidates. Right now it's probably Alcon season right around the corner. So I think it's just about the right time to come in, but we are looking for the best partner to actually put that platform and sell together.
Come to LATOKEN.
That's
a great suggestion. We definitely need to talk more about that.
Kevin, I sent you my email address. Send me an email, and I have some ideas for you.
I like that. I'll definitely do it. Regarding to the token side, or regarding to both?
Well, I mean, just in general. Well, actually, we have some of the top. We have. Just send me an email. We'll talk about it.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
No, PCTV, the token. They are the token kings and queens. So, I have some ideas for your business.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
You're planning to launch an ICO. You're planning to launch an ICO for your token.
So it's a token sale. Yeah, it's a
token sale.
Token sale. Yeah. So basically, he has tokenized his solution.
I thought the ICOs were out of fashion about a year or two back. I haven't heard of
it's not
any
about being in
upcoming
fashion.
ICOs
It's not harsh. I think if you don't know anything about, if you don't know much about tokenomics, ICOs, I think it's not good to say it's out of fashion. A lot of companies in India are also doing token sale, but the tokenomics has changed a lot. To what it was back in 2017. I would say. If you want more to know about ICO, I can have a one-on-one session with you. I can tell you.
The reason is because I know about it. That's why I kind of mentioned that. I know a couple of blockchain companies in India were planning to launch their ICOs, but at that time, because the government had kind of banned it, the ICO had become a bit of a problem. So that is why I kind of was following the international ICO market as well, and a lot of investors ended up losing their money. That's why ICOs, it wasn't as the last around 2018 was the peak time. Right now, it's kind of reduced a little compared to 2008 market.
See, because only credible projects like Kevin's, are doing token sale on ICO. Not everybody. Gone are those days. He has everything to start a token sale, and he's got all the reasons why investors should invest into his tokens.
Yeah, our tokenomics and light paper has been published. We've got a very detailed tokenomics level up to the whole distribution and circulation for the next 2 years. So that has been attracted a lot of people over the last few months. We're just taking our own sweet time to make it right.
Yeah, that's the difference between white paper raising ICO and Kevin. Okay, great. Thank you. I think I have been warned that I'm running over time. Thank you so much, Kevin, and Gary, and Harsh, and Maxime for your co-moderation as well. So basically, let's take some closing remarks, and we are done with the show. Sorry, my apologies, Carol. I'm going to be fast. Gary, over to you with your closing remarks, please. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great time. I mean, this pandemic has changed a lot of things, and having these exciting tools that really have an impact on our lives is really cool. And as I say, as I've said, and I say all the time, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning is the new electricity, and any way we can incorporate it to be able to deal with all the massive amounts of data to make our lives better, just like Kevin has talked to us about today, is really important. So you can reach me, by the way, on LinkedIn, Gary Fallon. You can reach me on Twitter. I'd be happy to talk to you. I deal with startups and advise startups all over the world. Just reach out to me and let's talk. And my show will be tomorrow. I have my show, GST Presents, every week, and a lot of exciting guests, a lot of exciting VCs and astronauts, etc. So tune in.
Thank you. Sure, I'm going to tune in as well. Harsh, over to you with the closing remarks.
Uh, we had a great discussion today regarding esports and online fitness, right? So the kind of investments that going into the esports, and trying to get people using AI and getting people to use those products much more aggressively. We need to have the similar thing in online fitness as well, to kind of ensure that people are getting their regular fitness requirements, which currently people have kind of reduced on. So that's why it becomes extremely critical that we use those kind of technologies, the gamifications, the way Kevin kind of highlighted in his own app as well, right? That people start to try to get incentivized to keep themselves fit. So that is where I see a good opportunity in terms of that. And if anyone wants to kind of reach me, they can simply reach me on LinkedIn. I'm available at Harshetia, and I'll be glad to connect. And we can have a free discussion on how we can help you out. No issues.
Absolutely. Thank you, Harsh. Kevin, this is your first time on VCTV. I know we've been speaking offline, but what's your experience so far on being on VCTV? We'd like to know that feedback as well from you. Thank you.
It was really great to be here. Thank you so much. I've been stuck in a room in Phuket for 8 months, and now I'm back to my hometown in France for the last 5 months, which is a small city in the middle of not much. And it's great to have the opportunity to be here and connect from amazing people all over the world and exchange some thoughts and views. And I've really appreciated. So thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure for me to be here and meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Same here. Any last words from Maxime? Otherwise, we're good to go. Close the show. Maxime, any last words from you?
Yeah, thank you so much I'm also really pleased to be part of this show. It was great and full of the emotions. So it's really good. Thank you, Sonia.
Perfect. Thanks for your company. So guys, VCTV viewers, speakers, investors, founders, entrepreneurs, whoever are watching us today, I'm back tomorrow, 8 p.m. on another topic, another set of speakers. Till then, stay tuned and please come and pitch your startup on VCTV. I insist.